And while you folks are working very hard to restore the soil here down south, folks are working hard to find a use for a destructive plant called kudzu, trying to turn this perennial pest into a tasty treat for livestock.
Barry Arnett is one of about 3,000 meat goat producers in the state of Kentucky. His day starts early, handling feed operations for an extensive herd on his family farm.
Good girls. They're good girls. When I was younger, I never thought I would have anything to do with a farm, and I certainly never thought I'd be out messing around in goat poop, but I'm finding it to be a very rewarding thing to do.
Instead of spending his retirement years on a beach in Florida,
now, don't you know better than do this?
Barry and his wife, Virginia Arnett,
There you go, guys.
decided to settle on her family's historic farm in Whitley County, Kentucky, just a few miles north of the Tennessee border.
No one had lived out here for, 50 years or more. It was my family's ancestral farm.
The Arnetts spent years restoring the Sharp farm, getting it back to its pristine state. But they also wanted to do something productive with the land. But before Barry could buy his first goat, he did a little research.
My background in corporate America said if you want to start a business, you better understand the market first.
What he discovered is that the demand for goat meat in the U.S. is nearly twice the supply.
In other words, consumers in America eat twice as much goat meat as American farmers produce.
A trend that's likely to continue. Goat is a popular food item with consumers from the Caribbean, Latin America, and a number of countries bordering the Mediterranean.
And these are some of the fastest growing segments of the U.S. population.
Of course, there was a good deal of trial and error the first few years. In addition to adjusting to farm life, Barry and Virginia had to learn how to select the best goats for breeding, how to deal with problem births, and how to keep their livestock healthy.
Oh, you're doing pretty good. We won't need to worm her. She's doing pretty good.
But for a couple that knew very little about farming or goats, the Arnetts have developed a thriving commercial meat goat and breeding operation. They took us on a tour of their 200-acre farm to see the 150 or so goats, mostly Kikos and Boers, they've acquired over the years.
The black one is the herd sire.
Midnight?
Midnight, for obvious reasons.
Barry rattles off the names of each goat and expresses his fondness for their lackadaisical attitude.
They don't argue very much. They never ask me for a budget forecast or a project deadline. I love it.
It makes it a lot easier. Industry experts say meat goats are one of the fastest growing agricultural segments in Kentucky. The state saw a 10% increase in production from 2007 to 2008.
Goats have been in the state for a long time, but I think just recently, in the past 10 years anyway, commercial meat goat production is taken more seriously.
Dr. David Ditsch is an associate professor with the University of Kentucky's College of Agriculture. He's been following the meat goat trend, but for a different reason. Ditsch is hoping to use these forever foraging animals to eradicate a fast-growing vine called kudzu.
Goats can play a pretty important role in the way that we deal with kudzu in Kentucky.
This non-native species came to the U.S. from China back in the late 1800s. At one point, it had livestock forage value and was even used for erosion control.
This is kudzu, which was once affectionately referred to as miracle vine, and now is considered a noxious pest.
Just to give you an idea of how pesky a plant kudzu really is, you'll notice it's taken over this entire hillside, stretching way up into the trees. It grows about 10 or 12 inches a day. And take a look at this. This vine has completely wrapped itself around the post of this electric fence.
It'll grow over houses, it'll grow over trees, telephone poles. It'll take over the earth eventually if we let it.
Barry, along with a few other farmers, has volunteered a portion of his land and goats as part of a 2-year kudzu study with the University of Kentucky.
So really the variety of things that a goat eats is just kind of amazing to me.
They've spent the first half of the year putting in fences, designing watering systems, and doing lots of research. This portable GPS unit is being used to create a map of the study area. Once Ditsch and his team get an accurate measurement of overall acreage, they can then determine the stocking rate. In other words, how many goats are needed per acre to either manage or deplete the kudzu.
We're going to stock the kudzu paddocks at
3, 6, or 9 does per acre.
These 3 stocking rates will be replicated twice in the field on a total of 6 test plots.
And we're hoping within that range we'll be able to determine what stocking rate eliminates and eradicates the kudzu, or what stocking rate is preferable if you want to manage and sustain the kudzu for a livestock forage.
Ditsch hopes to gather enough data over the next 24 months to help meat goat producers take advantage of this green monster growing on their farms.
I think this is going to be information that does not currently exist in the state, so it'll be beneficial to a lot of producers who have kudzu or other pest problems.
As for Barry, he's just grateful his gregarious goats may help solve the state's kudzu conundrum.
Through a variety of ways, we hope to spread the word that goats are useful for this purpose.
In the meantime, the Arnetts will continue to build their business and help educate other farmers about the benefits of the meat goat industry. And whenever they can, like most retirees, sneak in a few moments of downtime as they enjoy their golden years on the farm.
If we get tired in the afternoon, we take a nap. You know, if we need to go to town to go to a movie and get an ice cream, that's just what we do. And we'll do the goat farming later.